Hi, everybody. Happy fall quarter. My name is Patricia Kuznetsov, and I'm going to be your instructor for fall quarter in English 145. My name, as I stated, is Patricia Kuznetsov. It's a kind of long Russian-sounding name, so a lot of my friends and colleagues and even relatives call me PK. So you can call me Professor Kuznetsov, Professor PK, PK, Miss PK, whatever, as long as you address me, right? I think on your papers, the formal papers, I think you should put Professor Kuznetsov, in the corner, but you can address me as, PK if you want, if that's comfortable for you. It is for me. So, we'll go from there. Anyway, welcome to the asynchronous version of English 145. I'm excited about this quarter. I love teaching English 145. I also teach literature courses, and quite honestly, English 145 is the most real-world course I teach and that I think you'll take here at the university because you can use everything you learn every day. It's not like you have to wait till the end of the quarter to, determine that you've learned something. You can apply it every single day. As you know from kind of reading about the course, it's a course on argumentation. It assumes that you have not just accomplished English 134, which is freshman comp here at Cal Poly. We assumed that you mastered the contents of English 134. So you did well before you got to this course. This course is meant to pick up right where English 145 left off. So that's what is going to happen this quarter. English 145, argumentation. I know many of you are taking it because it's a prerequisite to take other courses, but I think you're going to enjoy it and learn a lot along the way. So let me talk about some of the things that are going to go on. As you know, it's an asynchronous class, meaning we don't meet live ever on Zoom. The only time you would ever meet live with me is if you came to my office hours, and I hope you will. Office hours are super important. A lot of times you are feeling like, oh gosh, do I really have a topic? Am I really addressing the prompt? Sometimes just coming to my office hour for, 3 or 4 minutes gives you a sense of, oh, you know what? I'm on the right track. Drop my notes, so let me grab those. Speaking of staying on track. Okay, so it's an asynchronous course. It never meets live unless you come to my office hours. Some of the things that you need to realize with an asynchronous course is that you've got to pay extra special attention to due dates because I'm not in class with you to remind you or to, there's just not that in-person nature to it. So the nature of an asynchronous course means a lot of the responsibility is on you, the student, to stay up with the due dates. I want to talk about the due dates. I've tried to keep it simple in previous quarters, teaching this course asynchronously. All of your due dates will always be, no matter what kind of assignment it is, whether it's a discussion or an actual research paper, they will always be due Tuesday, Thursday, or Saturday. Now, let me just explain. I know it seems weird, like, what? Saturday, PK? Are you insane? But what I found is that Saturday due dates kind of help students, right? That gives you that little bit of, yeah, sure, you're working on a weekend, but sometimes that's what we need for this asynchronous course is a little bit more time. And so due dates you of course can always turn things in before they're due. Like I'll have the submission link for each assignment usually open well in advance. So you do not have to wait till Saturday to turn it in. You can always turn it in earlier. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to just do an aside real quick. I've taught here at Cal Poly for 20-something years. I've never taught high school. I've only taught at the college level, and I'll tell you why, quite frankly. I like to be around smart, motivated, driven, curious, achieving people. And guess what I've just described? You, right? So this is an amazing environment in which to spend one's career. And I feel fortunate that I get to, spend this next what is it, 11 weeks or so on your journey with you. And let me now just add a quick aside. I've taught, as you know, I just told you how many years I've taught. So I started with Gen Z. And then I taught the millennials. Whoa, those millennials, that was a tough crowd. Oh, I was so glad when they all made it through college because wow, whoo. But I'm going to tell you, Gen Z is the real deal. You guys are rocking the world. So I feel humbled and privileged to be a part of your journey because I really believe that Gen Z is going to turn things around and develop a future we all want to live in. So I'm behind you guys 100%. I'm inspired by you, and that it makes it, being your instructor even more meaningful to me. Let's see. The course, I'm going to kind of open it in the beginning, just week by week. I will put some major due dates, like, what are some major due dates for, say, I don't know, when's the first real graded paper due? When is the, blah, blah, blah. Put those major due dates on the course. I guess it's the course. I can't remember the name. Course assignments, or it's like a course schedule. But what you'll know is that every week there's going to be the same kind of setup, aside from assignments. You're going to have a quiz, a homework, and a discussion. All three of those are going to happen every week, okay? And they're always going to have due dates like Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. But those discussion, especially the discussion, those take the place of what we would be doing in class. So in order to earn the credits for this course, you have to participate. You don't just log on and then submit work. You've actually got to participate. And quite frankly, I've found that the discussion boards online end up being almost more dynamic than they would ever have been inside the classroom, because so many more people take risks and participate. So a lot of times in a class, it's the same. In a live class, it might be the same people over and over raising their hand or talking. And in these online discussions, everybody gets involved, and it is pretty phenomenal. Let me see. What else do I want to say? I am teaching from home, so occasionally there's going to be interruptions, sounds particularly of my dogs. I have 2 dogs and 2 cats, and all my kids are grown. I have grandkids, but I'm here with my pets. So sometimes there's going to be doggy sounds. I apologize for that, but if you're missing your pets, you might like that sound. So I apologize in advance for any interruptions that may occur as a result of my pets. Let me talk about how you'll know what's going on week by week. Every Sunday night, I launch the week that's coming up. I call it a launch, it's just kind of a fancy name. It feels like, launching a rocket. So each week you kind of get your working orders on Sunday about kind of how I see the week playing out, right? And then of course you'll have other things in the weekly modules. And let me just speak real quickly about the modules. If you want to know how to keep up with this course in the most effective way or the most efficient way, it would be go to the modules. That's what I do. I don't know where really the calendar is and all that. I go by the module. Module 1 is like week 1. Module 2 is week 2, right? So you will have it within those weeks. You'll have the launch, kind of my video telling you what's coming up for the week. Then you have a page that you click that sort of gives you here's what the expectations are and here's what's coming up this week, right? And then in chronological order, typically your course contents will be there. All right. So the modules are like your weeks. So if you really want to pay attention and follow what the method to the madness, please just stay up with the modules. Click on the left side and go to modules. Let's see. Blah, 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 blah. So I'm trying to just make this short and sweet. You're going to have a lot of different little short videos from me. Sometimes it will be a screencast where you don't see my face, but I'm talking. But I'll try and, stay in communication and keep you informed. It's your responsibility to always watch any kind of video that I post, especially if it's a launch or I'm giving verbal instructions about an assignment. So I've taught this course quite a few times online, and I feel like I'm getting it dialed in, But if you're ever confused, if you ever are like, God, I don't know what's going on, or I don't see that thing she's talking about, email me, because sometimes it might look visible from my side of Canvas, but not be visible on your side. So, I appreciate it, and I know your peers do too. If you see something that's amiss, email me right away. I'm really pretty good about getting back to people with emails. Let me see, what else do I want to say? I also want to just put a plug in here about the concept of busy work. A lot of times people think that some homeworks and assignments are just filling time. Well, quite honestly, on the quarter schedule and really at this level of college instruction, I don't have time, and nor do you, for busy work. Maybe in courses where you got a ton of time and you just need to kill some time, but that's not the case here at Cal Poly. It never has been. So anything that feels like busy work to you is probably because you haven't looked at the course objectives or what the objectives were. And think about this. Let's put it in another context. When you go to soccer practice or basketball and you're just practicing dribbling, is that busy work? No, it's practicing a skill. So I kind of want you to think of some of the nature of the work that we might do in this course are skill builders, okay? So it's not busy work, it's building skills, just like you would do if you were practicing an instrument. You're not always playing a performance. A lot of times you're practicing skills. So that might help you envision what's going on here. Okay, everything is always going to be due. I already told you the due dates are Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Everything will always be due by 11:59 p.m. All right, 11:59 p.m. If you miss the deadline, even if you have the assignment done, you do not get to turn it in. All right, I have 100 students. I can't go back and forth reopening links for people who didn't get their work in. Part of the the catch-22 with the flexibility of an asynchronous course is that you really have to pay attention to the deadlines. So if you have it done and you wait till 11:58 and somehow you have a tech glitch, sorry, if it doesn't upload, it's not turned in. So what's the moral of the story? Don't wait till 11:58. Upload it at like 10:30, all right, or 11. So, or way earlier. You don't have to wait till the deadline. If you don't get it uploaded on time because for whatever reason, do not email it to me. I will not respond. All right. It either is or is not submitted on time. All right. So time is a real, it feels less flexible with an asynchronous course than perhaps even in person. But again, that's the nature of an online asynchronous course. Let's see. We have a ton of different things we're going to do this quarter. It's the nature of English 145, ranging from really learning how to optimize the skill of summarizing and responding, and then how do I create an argument based on how something's defined, like how is food insecurity defined? What does it actually mean? And what is, who is being affected by it? Maybe different people think of food insecurity differently, but it would be up to us perhaps to kind of start with a definition and then argue what's happening as a result of food insecurity. So that's just an example. You also have in this course, it's required to write a research paper, and it's one of my favorite components of the course. Yes, it's time consuming, but you will really be proud of yourself by the time you write the research paper. And by that stage, you get to pick whatever you want to write on for that paper. And when students have that much latitude in the ability to select their own topic, students are passionate about the things they're writing about when they get to choose. So that's the last component of our course. It takes up about the last third of the course. We don't have a final in this class. What you're turning in is your final draft of your research paper. That we don't have a separate final exam. We have, it's not really a midterm. It occurs around the midterm, and it's called a core concepts test. And it's worth 20, it has 20 questions with multiple choice, but that's the extent of like the testing really, other than little quizzes. All right, I hope you guys have an awesome quarter. I'm looking forward to engaging with you and taking this journey with you through English 145. This is going to be a great quarter, and I'm looking forward to meeting every single one of you.